What's up, guys? Buddy Banter here.
What's going on, fellas?
First time.
Lady?
Episode numero uno.
Yeah.
So what's good, man?
Work. Work is good.
How you feel about first official day of podcast?
Exciting,
It's-
as always.
It's been at least 2 months.
In the
since-
planet. Oh,
In
well,
the
it's
planet.
probably been longer than that. We talked about it for a long
Oh,
time.
we
but
talked
just
about it
never
for
did
years.
anything about it.
But between getting equipment, setting up, kids, life, work,
Right.
it's hard to get a date.
Always hard to do anything.
But I just seen the you see the Black Clover movie that's supposed to be coming out?
I have not watched the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer,
Yeah.
but I've seen so many newer fake trailers. I don't know what to watch.
Where are you seeing it at? If it's on Facebook, it's probably.
I was gonna say just scrolling on
I hate
Facebook or Instagram.
I hate Facebook.
I literally seen a new trailer for Mortal Kombat 2 today. But as soon as they got to Johnny Cage, it was an AI version of the dude that's playing Johnny Cage. I was like,
Yeah, I've seen something like that, and it looked like they were just using a bunch of the older scenes from
Yeah.
the first movie.
yeah.
I was just like, I didn't pay it no mind. I seen something about Captain Planet.
Dude, I didn't see something,
Yeah.
or I didn't see like something like visual, like a trailer, but it was a hand with all the rings on it.
I seen that.
And then I seen the gargoyle one where, because at first I'm like, what is that? But it was like stuff breaking away from stone. But I like zoomed in, oh, it's a gargoyle.
Movie?
Yeah.
Like the animated movie?
No, live action gargoyle movie.
Okay,
that-
I hadn't seen that.
Street Sharks. And there was some rat on a motorcycle, like dirt rat or mouse something.
I don't know.
Either way, it was a giant rat with a leather vest on a motorcycle. My dude, I could have swore I've seen it like back in the day, but I don't know what it was. I only knew the other three.
I know the one you're talking about, but I don't. It was a late 80s, early 90s cartoon. But
Yeah.
I can't recall the name of it.
But it was just 4 little squares, and it just had these little. But that stuff's been talking about for years, man. Like you hear about all these older gargoyles has been talked about for at least the past 2 years.
Right.
About coming out or something, and it's like,
Well,
oh, let's tease you with a poster.
it's one of those things that it's like they have so much to go off of,
Yeah.
and it's older. So you have to appease the older generation. Like you can't just make something for the newer generation and say, "Here you go, like it."
I mean, do you though? That's what they're doing now. That's what they're doing now with movies. Just like Fantastic Four. Nobody remembers Silver Surfer but the older people. But they're giving you a female Silver Surfer and to appease the new people.
Yeah, but we talked about this.
We did.
before.
We
There's
did.
multiple Silver Surfers. It's never just the one.
Well, that's the same thing. Give us the Captain Planet movie and just kids be like, oh, there's a superhero saving the world. That's the same thing. I
Yeah.
mean, they could do about anything. But speaking on movies, I had this conversation a couple weeks ago. Greatest movie of all time.
For me,
For you. I have mine, and I don't think people are going to be able to match it. There's got to be really good reasons on like how you can match this movie. My movie's got everything. Everything.
of all time,
The one, let's just say you turned on the TV right now and you had to watch the greatest movie ever, and you just like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to watch that right now. And you could turn around and watch it again tomorrow.
There's so many movies that I like.
Yeah, there's a ton of movies I like. Greatest movie of all time.
You hit me with it. I can't even give you an answer because I just got so many movies running through my head right now.
All right, mine is Gladiator.
It depends.
All right.
So you
Greatest
said
movie of all time. Gladiator for me is the greatest movie of all time. I could sit down. I could watch that movie every day of the week. It's got action.
Yep.
It's got drama.
Yep.
It's got romance. It's got some funny stuff in it. It's got your killing. I mean, it's got suspense. He has the greatest lines of all time. I'm Maximus Decimus Meridius. I mean, when he pulls out that line, that's what it was. The guy was like, oh, yeah, are you not to understand? I'm like, no, that's not the line. The line is when he pulls off the mask and is like, yo, I'm the Legion of the North.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, you thought you killed me.
Yeah. Everybody froze. Like that moment stands alone in time and will go down for me as the greatest movie of all time.
I still can't. Like,
not even one. All right, give me
it's a great movie.
Yeah,
for me, Step Brothers, Revenant.
I've just seen that movie with y'all.
No,
like,
I'm sorry, Remnant.
No, it's Revenant. Yeah, with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Hey, I ought to be gone to you.
No, dude, but out of all the movies you've ever seen, you can't have a greatest movie of all time.
Dude, I would like sit down and watch it.
Just sit down. Again, if you got up from here right now and walked in the living room and sat down, like, you know what? I'm gonna watch that movie.
It's hard for me to say because like all the movies I watch come from series, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings.
Well, again, so right, you're picking series. There's just a singular movie, nothing. Ugh. All right, you'll have to come back. You'll have to come back there. Yeah,
there's The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
that's great. About cartoon movies.
Well, see. So I just took everything, like, and it's super old, but the movie's called Vampire Hunter D. It's an anime movie. It's about vampires. He's a vampire hunter, but he's like a half blood. Like he's part vampire. He's got this little talking mouth in his hand that like eats stuff. Dude, it's probably from like '83. Right. It's probably before I was born.
Yeah,
but it's just a good movie. Dude's sword is gigantic. You know, just whooshing. Alucard and Castlevania.
Yeah,
kind of like him.
Okay,
same build, long, but he's got long black hair instead of long white hair. But swords just as long.
Never seen this,
dude. There's two movies. One called like Bloodlust and something else. Really good movies. You have to check them out. They're really good. So, what you think about Solo 11?
Solo 11 is shit. It's awesome. I've watched it in English probably 2 or 3 times, and I've watched it subtitled twice.
Yes. Not that many.
You've read the books. I have not read the books. So you know more than I do, but...
Yeah, books are definitely one to go to. It's kind of like how everybody talks about with the Twilight series or whatever Harry Potter series. Right. I think the books it lets you develop a better visual. Because when I seen the fight with Baru and him, it was really good. But when I was listening to it, oh, dude, I was locked in.
Right.
Like I was there. I was just imagining of like what was happening.
Create the scene.
They didn't like let me down, but like the books, I already had him like just destroying Baru.
Right.
And then it's like, all right, he won, but it was a quick victory. In the book, you get to pace it out and like really hear it.
I say that all the time to people that's like read books and you see a show that somebody's used their imagination to create.
Yeah.
You can put so much more detail into a book than you can into a 20-minute show.
Yeah. Well, if they come out with a movie and then do the show, I think that would be awesome.
Right.
But just like how Dragon Ball Z did Resurrection of F, but then put them in episodes. Demon Slayer did the same thing.
With season 2.
They bring out a movie, but the movie, break it down to see, like, what's the point? Like, I know we want to see it, but don't give me a movie and then give me say, oh, this is season 4, but it's the movie that I just watched. All right, now you're wasting my time and you're wasting my money. I could have just waited. I mean, yeah, there might have been some snippets that you did see, or what? Same thing with Dragon Ball Z. They gave you a movie and it's like, oh, well, that was in the movie, that wasn't in the show. But did I watch the show? Absolutely. Because you get these little fillers that you just miss out on. So It's like, okay, that was kind of worth it.
I actually went to the movies to watch Resurrection of F.
I did. I don't know where we were at. Yeah. I don't know where we were when that happened.
And then I watched Super, right?
Yeah. Super started, and then you had the other movie, the superhero, or whatever, the one with the robots and the Red Ribbon Army again. It was okay. It was okay. I mean, the animation style completely changed, and then now Dayama, or however you say it's out, and that's the last thing that Toriyama did.
I think so.
But it's again, they give you everything, but then they backtrack back here and fill you in like between the Tournament of Power and then whatever else you were doing. Like, that's not necessarily what I want to see. Like, you don't have to keep me engaged by showing me something that I missed. Just give me some new material. Like, yeah, I know the dude's passed away, but I mean, you can't keep people locked in just by giving me something that I didn't get to see. Like, we're past that point. Like, that's just like Rogue One coming out when you've already seen 4, 5, and 6, 1, 2, and 3.
But it's still, it has happened in the past, but it is new content. It's just different storytelling.
Yeah, and I guess that's what gets, because again, you love Andor, and Andor season 1 was good.
Great.
Yeah.
I thought season 2 was
I haven't seen it yet, but I've just been on. I don't know. I've been navigating. Like, do I really want to watch the second season?
because you already know the outcome.
Yeah, because I know he died. I know everybody dies.
Right.
Like, Rogue One was cool, but like, I watched it, but I wasn't as, let's say, impressed.
It's the same thing as saying, oh, I know what happens to Obi-Wan, but you still watch the series.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's a character though.
If there's a character that they could do, what they haven't been doing, backstory on and filling you in on stuff, it's Ahsoka.
Yeah, I want to see. I'd like to see Ahsoka's after she left the temple, and I would love to see a Yoda.
But Yoda would have to be like all backstory, like
but
Old Republic stuff.
You know nothing about anything with Yoda besides he's a Grandmaster.
It tells you some stuff in Clone Wars.
Yeah, but the animated one.
Yeah, but it doesn't give you like a whole lot of detail. Yeah, it does let you know that like he played with the dark side. So.
See, I didn't know that. Yeah. Pretty sure I watched this.
I don't know what episode it's in one of the later seasons.
Like, who trained him? Because again, George Lucas said you hear these things like, oh, Yoda was just an afterthought, or it was like, oh, well, we got to have something, so we created Yoda. Don't know his species. Don't know. I mean, who trained him? How did he get so powerful?
There's only been
how did he know so much?
2 other besides Grogu and Yaddle.
Yeah, the chick,
the female.
Yeah, and that was, we seen her in the not the Visions ones, but this little series that just came out. Yeah. So that came out, and it's like, oh, like there's another.
But there's another one that's looks like that. He's a light skin version. He's missing an eye. Oh, okay.
See, like
that was in Clone Wars too.
I just don't. It's been so long since I've seen it.
And it's one of those things that you can watch it over and over and over because there's so much content that they put out, and like you're always going to pick up something new.
Right.
And that's just the TV shows. They don't even go into the comic books or the hardback books or novels.
Dude, there's so many books on like Palpatine and the Blue Dude Thrawn.
Yeah.
The whole Outer Rim.
Yep.
I was listening to one. And it's kind of how the thing with Snoke was. It's like something was calling. See, this is what throws me off. Something was calling Palpatine like to the Outer Rim.
Right.
And in the books, like it was actually Snoke. Like it was like a dark entity or whatever. But in the movies, they played it off reverse. Right. It's like all Snoke was just somebody that Palpatine. He was
basically a puppet.
Yeah. But
he was a failed clone.
According to the books, it was like a completely different thing. When Palpatine like was recovering, he went to the Outer Rim because he was just had this call into the dark side, and it was like this void, and he just was drawn there. Yeah. But that's also how Rey came about as well. Like he got out there, and then he found this desolate planet and went to Jakku, blah 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 blah, and all this other stuff. You know, that's I heard they were really good, but there's just so much to cover, man. The books of Star Wars don't even amass to what you've seen in on TV and the shows and the movies.
Yeah,
Like they're ridiculous.
I do want to read the Vader comics.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Those are like super good.
And I guess I'm double downing on myself. The Maul series is coming out. I mean, I want to see that, even though I know he dies in Clone Wars.
Have you watched the final 4 episodes of the Clone Wars? It is basically a movie.
The Maul.
It's mainly Maul.
Right. Is that when he was fighting Ahsoka with the Darksaber, lost it, and then Obi-Wan killed him there in the desert?
This is when he took over. I'm thinking of something else. There was a series where the scenes where him and Obi-Wan were fighting.
That's when he kind of took over Mandalore and had the Darksaber.
Yeah, and then there's one I think the one I'm thinking about is like the last 4 episodes, and basically he's telling Ahsoka that basically Palpatine is the Dark Lord.
Yeah,
and this is after Ahsoka basically gets kicked out of.
The stuff with Anakin, because I just seen that scene like a couple days ago, and he's like, oh, you're mistaken. He was like, I've been grooming Anakin. You know, like we're doing this. Like, Anakin's getting groomed, like to be the next one. Like he's here to destroy the Force. Like he's not going to bring balance. He's here to destroy it. And she's like, nah. And then they had this epic fight scene, like her fight scene with Darth Maul. Those were epic fight scenes.
It's really good.
Ahsoka's good. Ahsoka, again, like you said, doesn't get talked about enough.
There are certain characters that you could just give backstory and story after story on, and people would pay attention. Like Ahsoka's one. Thrawn is, I think, his most recently one that people are really interested in because he comes from the Outer Realm.
Yeah.
And he knows what's out beyond the chaos. Dude, there's so many different, like, just what's inside of the little circle that Star Wars covers.
Yeah.
Outside in the chaos, there's so many different worse enemies or bad guys or whatever you want to call them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's some that like the Sith and the Jedi were afraid of.
I heard about that. Well, let's switch gears from shows and stuff, and let's talk about some life stuff, man.
What about it?
So
life is great, but it also sucks. I was telling somebody the other day that I wish my parents would have let me know how hard it is to be a parent. Yeah. Like it's the responsibility of.
And maybe they did, and then we just didn't care because we were still kids.
Yeah,
like probably, it's probably one of those memories, like son, like you're gonna have it hard. It ain't gonna be easy as an adult. When you have kids, it's when not rough, and you're probably just already halfway out the door, and just like, forget it. Like I'm ready to play. Yeah. When we were kids, all we think is go, go, go.
Yeah. And now it's like, get up on time, try to work out, go to work, take care of work. Make sure you don't bring work home with you because that will kill a relationship instantly.
100%.
And then take care of the kids. Make sure the kids got what they need.
I think you can bring work home, but it can't be an all-day thing. Like if you need to vent or if you need to talk to your significant other, spouse, have that window of like when you first get in, like, babe, like work was just trash, or handle it before you come home. Like call on the way home.
Yeah.
That way you've already got it off your chest. You're not walking through the door like, babe, let me tell you what happened. Have that build up beforehand. That way when you get in, shoes off, washed, you're in daddy mode.
I want to talk about it like during the day while I'm at work or like halfway on the way home.
Yeah.
But usually the later half on the way home is music, listen to other podcasts, or basically in silence.
Yeah,
and
just trying to
basically calm my mind before I get here. That way, frustrations from work you don't bring home and push off on the people you love.
100%. Yeah, I completely feel that. Like I'm not like I have my stresses, But it's, with Char being a doctor, I mean, not that it's not equal, but it isn't, right? She's a doctor. She's, taking care of people's lives.
Right.
And I don't want to say that my stresses aren't as bad as her stresses. It's just a different type of stress. Everybody's stress is different, but in the end, it's still stress. But some days, man, like dealing with people's
people,
yeah,
people are assholes.
and we had this conversation yesterday. Yeah. People are just, screwed for no reason, just because they can be.
Yeah.
My people aren't necessarily rude. Sometimes it's just like
they don't care.
Yeah, they don't care.
Everybody's living their own life.
They don't care. And they see me for work. They could care. They could care less.
Yeah, they don't care what's going on.
And you got to start looking at it that way.
You need to know that you're going to come to work and do what you need to do at work. Make the corporate machine more money.
Yeah, but you switch jobs.
I did not switch jobs.
No. Well, I meant a couple years ago. A couple years ago, you left Terminix.
And before that was with you on the road.
Yeah.
Doing electrical.
But leaving there, having this job with DaVita has been good.
Going back into the medical field, which is something I said I would never do, but I ended up doing anyways. It's been great. Like, I get to tinker on stuff. Stuff's broke. I get to fix it. Sometimes I break stuff and then I fix it.
Yeah. Nope. So you're not going to do the stuff now? So what we just talked about? You didn't take the job?
I did take the job.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
I'm still in the house.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I meant like promotion wise type, working up the ladder.
Yeah, so I left from Chronic, which is basically they get treatments 2-3 times a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to acutes, which are people in hospital. They're in the hospital and they're basically dying.
Dude, when you said that the other day, I honestly didn't know what you meant. You're like, I'll start doing acutes. I'm like, I thought it was a machine.
No,
I just thought it was the machine that was the name of the machines y'all worked on. But you just meant that more acute situations, like they get dialysis every day, or they're there
in the hospital
getting dialysis. Okay.
Getting dialysis.
That makes sense.
These people more than likely will never make it back home.
Right.
I mean that sucks.
Yeah, that's rough.
To work around stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I don't really go to the floor a lot. Yeah, I'll go out and I'll let the patient see my face. I'll say, hey, that'd be cordial to them, but I sit there and hold conversations with them. I try not to do that.
Yeah.
And just go in and do my job. And then, like you said, leave it. I'll leave it all. Most of the time, I leave it all.
Yeah.
Like, I hardly ever bring work home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty good about cutting it off and leaving it there.
Yeah.
And I think I've always been like that.
Yeah, I think you've been like that in general. Just situations or just things going on. Like if it happened, you take care of it, you deal with it. Or if it's, hey, you know what? It's done. Move on. It ain't affecting me. It don't have any more effect on me.
Right.
I'm not going to let it affect me anymore. So it's like, hey, unless somebody brings it up and wants to talk about it, then give your 2 cents.
Yeah, and usually people don't like my 2 cents. It doesn't always come off as
it's strong. It's strong and direct.
It's straight and dry. It's kind of hurtful at times.
Oh.
And then sometimes, I'll play it back through my head, and I'm just like,
I could have said that.
I could have said it a little bit better. But then I chuckle about it. Man, I'm an asshole.
Oh. Well. So, tomorrow is the day.
You gotta take your test.
Take my test tomorrow.
Be your own boss.
I'm working on it. Dude, I feel super comfortable.
Right.
Like I had a little bit of nerves just thinking about it today. I was going over some.
Well, I mean, that's understandable. Like I said, when I got hit with, hey, we want you to take over this other program, and I was just like, I came home, I talked to you about it, I talked to Johnny about it, I talked to my wife about it. I'm not going to use people's names on here. But if I do, it slips up. That's cool.
Yeah.
I talked to my brother about it. He'd done it before, but I also talked to the guy that had it before me. He's no longer with our company. He went to another company a while back, and then that company lost the contract. But
all right.
I talked to him about it, and he was like, dude, it's a lot easier. He said it's a little more technical on the paperwork side, and getting some stuff done is kind of hard because of they're 24/7. The only time they shut down is like on Sundays.
Right.
And he's like, you should take it, especially with the money that they're offering you. So
Yeah.
I said, talking with everybody and being surrounded by great people, it helped me make the decision.
That helps. Again, talking to my fiance, just going in this step, and I mean, as long as I've done it and just being with her, our end goals, it's being home, raising kids, spending time with family, like makes me want to be a better person.
And it also makes you want to stay away sometimes a little bit.
You know what? Well, I'm away right now all the time, so I'll say maybe I'll get to that point.
It'll take a little while, but you'll get to that point. You'll be like, I'm not going straight home today. I'm going to stop by the parts store.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to go to Lowe's. I'm going to go somewhere and get me an ice cream and sit in the car.
But dude, I'm excited. Like this is, I don't know. I've had dreams about it. I've just been in good thought. I was telling her, no wet dreams. Okay. Not lately. Practicing abstinence, but just had really good thoughts, man. Like the past 2 weeks, man. Like I get up, I pray in the mornings, I go to bed, I'm praying at night. I feel good. I was telling her this morning, like I was just driving, I was like, the past 2 weeks, man, I've felt more like myself than I have in months, man. Months of doing stuff. Because again, work's been crazy, life's been crazy, finances have been crazy, something always coming up, or somebody always needing something. And it's like, hey, you got it? All right. Hey, can you help me? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, it's like, and then it's like,
change.
Hey, gotta pay some bills now.
Yeah.
I hate bills. Man, come on. Can I catch a break? And dude, I've been work has been great this week. Being at working in Rayford this week, man, has been.
We've been back home.
Been home, dude, and yeah, being home every night, just posting through work, nothing crazy's happened. Like everything's just flowed. And I'm like, it feels right. It feels good. And it's exciting, man. I'm excited to see what happens. And if it doesn't work out, I got some backup plans.
So the thing is, you go, you take the test.
Yep.
You miss it by
You're about to
wait. You miss it by one thing. What do you do?
I'll take the one under it the next day, the next week. So if I failed it, so this is the top notch one.
Right.
If I fail it, I can't take it again for like 3 months.
Dang, 3 months.
But the next one under it, the limited or intermediate, whatever the next one, I could take that one like the next day if I'll pay for it.
Right.
But the only difference is like money amount. So the unlimited is there's no stipulations on what I can and can't do. The next one down, the dollar amount changes to like, I can only do stuff that's like 200,000. And then there's another one under that. So there's 3 different ones.
So the one that you were taking
is the top. You can't get no better than that.
Right.
And it's so funny. Like,
have you thought about a business plan?
Not yet.
You want to like contract yourself out?
Yeah.
You want to start that business?
That's my plan. I think I want.
I
guess Justin you're just as bad as Justin. The only reason why I didn't want to think that far ahead is because I didn't want to build myself up and then fail at both points.
Well, that's one of the things that I guess good for or bad for. Not 100% sure what it would be. I play scenarios out in my head all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Like, that's a good thing. That's a good trait.
It's like if it goes wrong, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
If it goes right, what's going to happen next?
Yeah. And again, I've only did the if it goes wrong part because nothing would necessarily have to change, but my backup is diving further deeper into PLCs and like actually become a programmer. That's, I say worst case scenario, but that still keeps me with the company I'm with, making good money, but I could also have the potential to come home like I want to.
Right.
So I do have that option. I feel like, I am trying to put it out into the world and be positive about it, but I'm also realistic. Like this is one of the hardest tests to take. So I'm trying to be realistic about this issue. I don't like going there like, oh yeah, I'm about to pass this, like no sweat. Like no, it's a 6 hour 100 question test. Like that's a hard test. Like our massage tests were hard.
Yeah.
You know.
And 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, whatever.
Question?
Maybe 3. I don't remember.
I think it was like 2
but
and a half.
Still, that was a big step for us because I mean at that particular time that's what we were trying to do. You know, that was what we were going into. I did too.
By 1 point.
That's gut wrenching.
1 point.
I forgot what I failed by, but I was like, okay.
But then it was like, hey, go back a month later. I took it and I passed.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is, right, it's one of those tests that has over 1 million questions.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was meant for me to pass because I got some of the exact same questions, which should have never happened.
Yeah. You know, I don't know, but I'm definitely excited about it. But I do plan on contracting myself out. Right. Like me and your brothers talked about some stuff. I mean, just plans. Me and fiancés talked about some stuff and like what we could do. I mean, I didn't dabbled with ideas, but I don't want to get too far because after I pass, then it's like the world is my oyster kind of thing. Yeah. Then I can start to like, oh, I can do this. But yeah, I did have that thought today. I was driving home by myself, no radio, and I was like, what if I fail this by 1 point? Then immediately I was like, no. I mean, I started laughing because I'm like, that would be my luck kind of deal, my situation. But I immediately just got it out of my head. I was like, nah, I laughed about it. I'm like, no, you got this. But as soon as I got home, popped open my laptop, started studying, went over some stuff, and dude, and I was just clicking. Like I was watching it. I'm like, all right, I knew that. I knew these numbers. I knew I could do it. And it was load calculations. It was calculation stuff. Like, I don't need to know them all. I just need to know enough.
Right.
And that's
now,
where
what is it like?
Dude.
Is it like... They have a calculator.
Oh, yeah. They give you a calculator. I'll have a calculator. I have pen and paper to write out my math stuff. Again, I'll have both my books, so I'll have reference material. But it covers everything. It covers...
So is it like certain forms of that you'll need to solve this problem that you can't have?
No, I'll have all the formulas. I'll have everything. It's just the amount of stuff. Like, it just gets confusing. So if you have 4 motors, you got to take 125% of the largest motor. Then after that, if they're non-continuous or continuous motors, you have to do 100% of this one, and then you do 100, and then 80% of this, and then you add them all up together, and then that gives you whatever service loads you're going to have, whatever you got to, what size wire you need to gauge to pull to it, or how many amps you need to have. So again, it goes back to wire size. All right, I need 600 amps to run all 4 of these motors off of whatever. So it's like, all right, I can get to install this bigger breaker, or these type of fuses. So it just comes into that, like the amperage your motor draws or how big the motor is. All right, if the motor's this big, it's 15 horsepower and it runs this long, what size wire do you need?
Okay. So the answer is there. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah. So it's like, normally you would need, let's say, a 10 gauge wire, that's for only 20 amps. But it runs all the time. And it's the largest motor out of the group, so you got to take that and then times it by like 125%. Well, so now instead of a 10 gauge wire, you really need 8 gauge wire. You can't just look at it and go, oh, that's this. It draws this many amps. Bam.
Right.
It's a number 10. No, not really. You need this much because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
So yeah, the answer is there, but you gotta.
It takes so long now.
The page might take you here, but the chart's on the next page, and you're looking at this, and you got a single phase motor, and then you got a 3-phase motor.
Right.
So now your wire changes because now you got 3 wires you need to deal with, as opposed to the 1 or 2 you need to deal with over here. So
now would your wire depend on how far you have to run the wire?
Not in that case, but that's a whole nother separate thing. Like with voltage drop, that there is another section on that. Like, all right, well now, your run's 120 feet and it's this. all right, well, copper's good for this much, but also aluminum's good for this much.
But couldn't you just use gold for everything?
I don't think they make gold-plated wire. That'd be very expensive. Be very expensive, but yeah, I'm pretty sure gold is a good conductor.
Because they use that on microchips.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I said I'm excited. I'm ready to.
What time do you have to? Where you got to go to?
Fayetteville.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 to 3. Yeah, it ain't bad. When I looked it up and I was like, please let her not have to drive to Raleigh like Thursday morning. And they're like, oh, Fayetteville. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, I had to go to Wilmington.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, dude. I'm excited to change some things, man. I'm excited for this. So, being episode number 1, number uno of Buddy Banter.
Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit here and talk and shoot shit.
Yeah. So, and just for everybody asking, it's Buddy Banter, real life and beyond. Reels as in movies, not fishing reels. I had a buddy. He's like, you don't fish. And I started laughing because it's real life and beyond.
Yeah.
But reels as in movie reels because it's spelled REEL, but also is fishing reels.
Right. Well, I mean,
but it was hilarious. He was like, you don't fish.
How to fish, but I haven't fished since.
But
it's my wife.
Reels as in movie, life, and then just beyond life that covers everything else that we like.
Right.
And stuff you may like. So.
And is there a comment section?
There will be. So.
Yeah, just throw some comments in there. Yeah. Don't be douchebags.
Yeah, comment, like it, subscribe to it.
Tell your friends about it.
Tell your friends.
Hey, best movie of all time. I got it.
What is it?
Oh, brother, where art thou?
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, fellas. Have a good one. See you next time.
Later.